Hey traders, Raghee here, and in this video we're going to discuss the Dow, but I'm going to talk about an alternative way to take a look at the Dow and look at some long positions. And one of the things that caught my eye today was something that happened on the IYT, the Transports ETF. Now, this particular ETF is what I will look at oftentimes in lieu of the Dow, in lieu of the Dow futures, and really another way to look at the direction, the overall direction of the Dow, very much rooted in Dow theory. And so we take a look at the transports to understand where the larger average will go. So the first question oftentimes that comes up is, okay, Raghee, if we're looking at IYT, what is inside the IYT? What are the holdings that we're talking about here in terms of wanting to be long the IYT or wanting to be short? So what stocks am I potentially going to trade? And by the way, the thing that caught my eye here was the second red propulsion dot, which means the 3 is crossing above the 8 exponential moving average. We've also made it above the -1 standard deviation of the V-score. So there's some interesting, mildly bullish things happening. But what I really want to see is that things like Norfolk Southern and SC are moving higher. I want to see that Union Pacific, UNP, is also moving higher. That means if I'm willing to buy the IYT, yes, it might turn into my being open to be long the Dow, but I'm also going to be open to buying these specific names, all of which you can tell are rather bullish. So this is where looking at the futures contracts can oftentimes lead us to individual sectors and individual ETFs. Now, there are a handful of markets that I'm not crazy about within the IYT. One of them happens to be FedEx. The other one happens to be UPS, probably two of the better known names within that ETF. I'd rather focus on long positions in the IYT itself, long positions in NSC, UNP, and even KSU. So keep an eye out on pullback buys in the IYT, because that might slowly start opening up pullback buys in the Dow futures themselves. And remember, when we are futures traders in the indices, we really are stock traders. We're really trading stocks, because inside the Dow is a number of sectors, inside the Dow are a number of stocks. Get those plays right, and then what you'll see is this sort of cumulative action, this cascading type of way in which these stocks start moving in one direction, the overall average starts moving in the same direction. So what I'm doing now is just finding the relative outperformers within this before dedicating capital to getting long the Dow, which, by the way, needs to get above the 200 exponential moving average and needs to get above the mean before I really start getting serious about the Dow futures. But here are some earlier opportunities before we jump into that. And they're really going to be, in many ways, sort of the canary in a coal mine for this setup eventually. And then that way we can take advantage of smaller moves, smaller pieces, and maybe some smaller moves before we get that big move in the broader average. All right, that's how I break these things down. Hope it helps, and I'll see you in the next update.